Hey guys, it's me, Dave, and welcome back to another review. Today we have the very first LEGO Dungeons and Dragons set. The set number is 21348. It's going to come with 3,745 pieces, a price tag of $360, not $350. I don't know what LEGO's doing there. Another $10? Is that a huge deal? I don't know. Maybe that's a huge deal to you to not buy this set, but that's just weird pricing. But regardless, it looks super cool. It's going to launch on April 1st of 2024, which is a little funny, April Fool's Day. And again, this is the very first D&D set ever to be made. Now, it's also under the LEGO Ideas name. Reason being is 2 years ago, LEGO actually already had announced that they were going to go forward with making D&D sets. And they actually invited fans to submit their own designs on the LEGO Ideas platform. And ultimately, the best got voted. And the winner was the Dragon's Keep, which I'll show the original fan designer's concept right here. It's actually pretty similar to what the final set ended up being. Only real two notable differences being the roof color change here and the, of course, dragon color change going from dark green to this red-orange color, which honestly, I think it was a good choice. I like the red color. Like, it looks like a really good dragon, actually. This might be one of my favorite LEGO dragons ever made. Now, I also want to disclaim that I have never played D&D before. However, I am a giant LEGO fan. I've built thousands of LEGO sets over the last 15 years. And so I'm going to be coming at this review from a LEGO fan perspective, which I think a lot of people will look at the set, just LEGO general fans will look at this and be like, wow, that's sweet. I don't know anything about D&D, but the set looks cool. Also want to disclaim, my girlfriend plays D&D. I have so many other friends that are diehard D&D players, and they've already reaffirmed that this is a really cool looking D&D set. So I'm also going to be consulting with them just to make sure this is in line with the branding and all that. But again, this is going to be a LEGO focused review. So if you're looking for a D&D focused review, all those nitty gritty details, might want to look at another reviewer's video. Now, LEGO has also sent over some other goodies that will be launching alongside this set. These are basically gift with purchases here. We have a gift with purchase set and a booklet. The set being a Mimic chest. This will be recognizable to any D&D fan. And then we have this booklet here. Now, this is officially called a Dungeon Master Guide. And if we take a look at it, it's actually very premium, very nice textures. We'll be taking a look at this in the in-depth in just a minute. So everything's looking pretty good so far. I'd say the overall value with that price per piece ratio is solid. These gift with purchases are certainly helping. Again, we'll talk about all that towards the end. I do want to also mention that LEGO did send this set over for review. I'm highly appreciative of that. And that there is a link down in the description that if you choose to purchase a set, it's affiliated, helps out the channel. Definitely consider utilizing that down in the description below. Without further ado, let's go into the in-depth of the Red Dragon's Tale. So first up, we do have a small sticker sheet. Thankfully not too many, but still not the greatest thing in the world. After that, we have a paper bag full of different fabrics for both the dragon and characters. Following that, we have 4 instruction booklets with some really beautiful art, and front and center on it is a D&D dice. What I really like about these instruction booklets is that each one of them is a completely separate individual modular build, meaning that you can have friends around the table all working on their own thing, which is wonderful. I love that, and it makes total sense given the context of the set. Next, we have this Dungeon Master's Guide booklet. Now, this is not included with this set. It is actually available for free as a downloadable item. However, if you want the physical booklet, it will cost you 2,700 points on the LEGO Insiders program on lego.com. Moving on to the set now, my gosh, there is a lot to cover here. Sit back and relax, guys, because there is so much to this set, far more than I was expecting. So first up, we have our minifigure characters, the first of which being the Dwarf Cleric. I actually love the design here. Now, this is the male version. There's actually a female head that's also included with a different wig piece, and we have some accessories as well. Next, we have an elf wizard, and just like the dwarf, we have a swappable face between male and female, and also has some really cool accessories. Love the back printing as well on the torso, and the armor looks great. Next, we have a rogue orc. Again, just like the other characters, we have a swappable face here between male and female. Love the design. The dark blue looks fantastic. Next, we have a gnome fighter with this really nice printed shield piece, some nice armor, nice sword, and of course that swappable male and female head. Next, we have a character named Alex Jadescales, and this figure has a brand new molded headpiece, which looks really good. Finally, we have a character named Irvin Soulfallen. What an interesting name.
Just like all the other characters, you have a swappable face between male and female. Honestly, this might be my favorite out of the bunch. I just love the character design here. And if you just want to make them a normal, non-wizarding character, you can do that as well. Now, this isn't the first LEGO set to have swappable heads, skin tones, genders. That has been done before in like some soccer sets, but it is really cool to see for a D&D set. It makes complete sense for LEGO to do this. Now, before we get onto the main set, I do want to address this gift with purchase. Again, this is only going to be available for a few weeks after the set is launched in April 2024. This won't be available forever, but the Mimic chest actually serves as a really good storage compartment for all those extra heads and minifigure accessories, so that's something. Next, moving on to like creatures or animals, monsters, we have an owl bear. And honestly, this is my favorite out of the bunch. Maybe it's the fact that it's an owl, and I love that, and I also love bears. So you know what? This is my favorite. This is just my favorite. And the fact that it looks like a flying squirrel. I mean, come on. You can't get better than that. Am I right? Am I right? I love this thing. After the awesome owl bear, we have the Displacer Beast. Honestly, this looks like something you would see in maybe James Cameron Avatar Blue People movie. It's a cool looking creature, but it's not my favorite out of the bunch. But regardless, it's cool. It makes sense, I think, given the D&D context here. Then after that, we have the Beholder. This is supposed to be like, a fearful kind of creature, and it definitely does that. That is a lot of creepy eyes. Now, you can move them around in certain ways, but this figure really isn't very posable. You can move the mouth a little bit up and down, but man, I just want to hide this in the dungeon. Next, we have Cinderhowl, the Red Dragon, and this is fully LEGO brick built. No specialty molded pieces here. So first off, there is a little eye print there on that wedge plate underneath the tooth. You can kind of see it, and it actually works and integrates well. Unfortunately, what doesn't integrate well is this ball joint holding up the head. The head's so heavy because of all the different parts usage here that it will fall under its own weight depending on the different angle you get. It's not every angle, but it's something worth noting. Of course, you can pose the wings any way you want, as well as the tail. Plenty of ball joints here, so you can wrap this around the tower, for example. I like the overall size here, and I love the fabric usage for the wings. It looks really good. It's this new reddish orange color. I think that's what everybody's kind of calling it at this point. As for the feet for the dragon, you'll notice it does have some little thumbs there, which I think is pretty funny. Its claws are posable. There's not too much posability with its arms and legs all that much. They just move just about the right amount just so it can be flying or not flying, but it's nothing crazy. I've seen better on other LEGO dragons, but it's not bad. Speaking of other LEGO dragons, here's the Gringotts Bank dragon next to the red dragon, and as you can see, there is quite a size difference here, especially with the wings. I'm not gonna lie, once I finished building this dragon, all I could think of was Dracarys, but this is the wrong universe. Overall, I think it's a really well-designed character, as well as all the other creatures in this set. So now we can start our adventure on the actual map here of the D&D set. There's a lot to unpack here. Honestly, I wasn't expecting just how modular this set is, and just how many different little Easter eggs, how much little details there are. There is plenty to explore around this set, and I'm sure fans of D&D are going to find tons of more details than I'll be able to explain here in this set. Now, first off, for my LEGO fans out there, I just want to show you in real time what it's like to put the red dragon on the set itself and how easy it is. And honestly, I was shocked. It just kind of just stands there. You just got to take the back leg and kind of put it in part of the ruined castle there, and it just sits. That's it. There's no attachment points. It just works. I was shocked. Then we have the modularity of this set, which was a little interesting. It kind of comes apart in like an L pattern. You kind of have to take one half of the set apart and then pull the two things apart. And then you can take the top section off the dungeon area, and then you can take the tavern apart, and then you can take the tavern roof apart. There's just a lot more modularity to this set than I was ever expecting. Now we get to go through all of this one bit at a time. And again, I just want to remind all of you that I have not played D&D, so I don't know all of the little special details, what certain things might mean. I'll probably miss a couple things, if not a bunch of things, so please bear with me as we go through this together. The first section is the tavern. This is where you can get all of your characters together. There's even a little dock out front with some water, and we also have, of course, an opening door. But what I really like here is the little sign to the right that says "In Plain Sight." That's pretty funny. First, we'll take a look at the bottom floor. Again, this whole thing is modular in 3 different sections. On the bottom, you'll find some tools, a little guitar, banjo looking thing. We have a little bar area with some ale. We got some wine. I think that's some hot sauce or ketchup there. Just a area for your friends to get together, which is always awesome. Upstairs is a bedroom, I believe, for Alex Jadescales, the dragon character. And there's 2 mimics here. Both the bed itself is a mimic, as well as the chest next to it, which honestly looks like it's in reference to that gift with purchase set I showed just a few minutes ago. And then we have a little bag off to the side. I love the chimney on the top of the tavern. It looks really good, and I love those colors. That purple and blue looks excellent. Next, moving on to the forest meadow area. This is actually quite nice looking. In fact, I love a lot of the greenery here. It has my favorite Lego piece in the world, that green fern piece. And then we have some nice little details with spiders. And I actually love this tree design. It actually has a little print there on the tile of like some type of character. Not sure what that means. I'm sure D&D players know what that means. And then we also have some stairs leading up to part of the castle. This next section was probably my favorite part to build, this courtyard area with the bridge going over it at an angle. And then we also have this little monster kind of thing coming out of the water, which I think is pretty funny. On the back side of this section is a little cave area where you'll find a gelatinous cube, which honestly is pretty hilarious, and there's even a miniature one as well. The cube itself has these skeleton parts in it. Again, don't know exactly what this is, but I'm sure D&D players watching this know exactly what that is. On the back left side of the cave, you'll find a secret entry point. I love this. You can take this little rock section in and out very easily, and it actually blends in really well within the set. The average person wouldn't know that's there, which is always cool. Then we have this little prison room. I don't want to know what that is. Moving on to the back side of the courtyard, you'll find a printed shield there on the left, as well as these guys. Again, I don't know what they are. They just look like mushroom dudes. Who knows what characters they are from the D&D universe. And then we have this, a little tree covering, leading to another entrance point. And then we have a little cross area, which leads to a flag. Now we move on to the final section, which is the dungeon. But first, I just want to point out there's a little portrait of maybe Alex Jadescales' parents? I don't know, man. But leading up to the tower here, the ruined tower of the castle, you can see there's plenty of details that I'll show off as we go through it. First, let's go ahead and start on the bottom side here where, yes, you'll find 3 skeletons, and they're all dressed up in different ways. Now, this dungeon area is also a place that you can put the Beholder, for example, but you can really put any creature. Again, this whole set, you can kind of customize as you will. I love that there's a little secret entrance that has a little, I don't know, death penalty if you open the door, basically. So watch out for that. And then this one skeleton even has a reflective cape, which is pretty sweet. We have another little door, which will actually lead to the tavern when the 2 sections are connected together. Under a spiral staircase, you'll find this little book. Again, I'm not exactly sure what it's referencing to. And then as we go up that spiral staircase will lead to a secret room on the second half of this modular area, where, of course, you have a special little passageway with a little key that will open up the door that will again go down to the dungeon to the spiral staircase. Very clever, love that. Next, we have a little dragon shrine here, which is kind of awesome looking. I love what the designer did here. And then we have a little staircase that kind of goes around up to the top of the ruins. There's a little tree area here, which I think is really well designed. I love the simple trees LEGO has been doing lately. Great design work there. I love the details overall here. And then we have a door that leads into the room, part of the ruins. Flipping to the other side, there's plenty of little Easter eggs here, and then what I believe to be like the main prize of the quest, I assume, a little dragon egg that I assume the dragon itself is protecting, or the dungeon master is protecting. Again, I'm not exactly sure what exactly the story is trying to do here, but regardless, it is pretty sweet. So overall, lots of details here. I'm sure I missed a billion things, but I think it looks great. It's a very nice set, but it's smaller than I expected. Now, to kind of prove my point here, next to the Dragon's Tail is the Bricklink Designer Program Mountain Fortress. This is a $380 set versus a $360 set, and arguably the Mountain Fortress is a lot bigger. Maybe not as detailed on the inside, but significantly bigger here. And again, that's kind of a telltale sign, to me at least, that the Red Dragon's Tail is a little too small. Now, what about the Lion Knight's Castle? I know LEGO fans will put these two sets side by side, and at first glance, they both relatively take up the same footprint, are relatively the same size, except that the Lion Knight's Castle gets significantly bigger when you open up those back sections. And again, it really shows that even though there's a $40 difference between these two sets, that Lion Knight's Castle is still, in my opinion, the far better value. Now, obviously, you can sit here and argue that one is based on a licensed IP, that there's a $40 difference, but still, it's notable. Now, what about the Medieval Market Village? There's a $130 difference between these two sets, and I would say they're not too far off in size. Now, excluding the Mountain Fortress here, all of these sets are available, and they all look so good together. In fact, I would say this is quite the epic display of LEGO Castle and Fantasy. I mean, come on now, this looks sweet. So wrapping things up here, I'm mixed about the Red Dragon's Tail because it's a great set, but it just doesn't quite match its price point. And I'm very conflicted about that. Very conflicted.
All right, so I have a lot to say about this set. First off, the actual set itself. I think it's wonderful. I love the way it looks. The red dragon just pops perfectly. I love the color aesthetics overall on this set. You just got greens, purples, oranges, grays, like all of it just blends together so well. I think the aesthetics of this set are just absolutely nailed. I love the build experience. I had a lot of fun putting this set together. I was surprised by how modular it is. There's so much to explore, so many Easter eggs for D&D fans that will absolutely love what they find when they are finished putting this thing together. The character choices are great. I love the fact that there's male and female faces that you can swap in and out. There's so many possibilities with changing up this set, and I love that. What I don't love, though, is the price tag. $360 is just too far of an asking price to fans of D&D or just LEGO enthusiasts in general. I even had some LEGO D&D fans come in and look at this set, and I asked them what they thought, and they thought it was great. They thought it was a really awesome set until I told them that price tag. It's just a big turnoff for what you're getting here. It's just not enough, especially when you compare to other LEGO sets in the portfolio. It just doesn't add up to me personally. I think this is at max a $300 set. Even with the license of it being a D&D set, I don't think it should have crossed that $300 price point, or LEGO should have scaled this down in some way to hit $300. $360 is just, it's just too far. I can't recommend this set at that price point. It's a great LEGO set. It really is. I don't have any issues with the set itself. It was a blast to have fun with this thing, and I'll look forward to displaying it, but I just, maybe it's the fact that I'm not a D&D player, that I'm not getting into it, and I can't justify certain things. I'm not sure, but for me, as the LEGO enthusiast, it just doesn't add up. And so I'll be curious to see, are you a huge D&D fan? Given what I've told you here, now that you've seen it in context to other LEGO sets, do you agree with what I have to say about the price being, just too expensive, or are you still going to pick it up because it is the first Dungeons & Dragons set? Now, it is worth noting that there will be this gift with purchase Mimic chest. This is a nice little side build. I think it looks cool, but it doesn't add anything on to this set. So this is just basically like a nice Easter egg, fun extra type of thing, and it's unnecessary. So this shouldn't basically be a driver for you to go out and buy this set on day one, at least in my opinion. Honestly, I think this should have just came with the set during the launch, along with this gift with purchase as well. I'm not sure why this was just put as a side thing that you can redeem in the Point Center. It should have just came with the set, in my opinion. So that's a bit of a bummer, actually. But again, this chest, it's not an incentive to go out and buy this set day one. So until this set goes down in price to $300, I can't recommend it. That's how I feel about this set. That's how I'm gonna leave this video on. Let me know down in the comments again what you think about this. I'm very curious. I do want to thank LEGO for sending this set over for review. Highly appreciative. Hope you guys have a very wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.